That's good. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show. You know, this is the number one public service watch announcement channel around the whole, whatever platform you want to call this. We are number one. And for being number one, we get punished for being number one because we try to tell you only the truth and nothing but the truth. As you know, in this channel, we don't try to sell you anything and we don't want to buy nothing from you either. Okay? Just in case you're thinking about that if we buy or we sell, we don't do none of the above. What we do here is just drop knowledge for free. And the only thing we ask you guys for is if for a simple, thumbs up. That's it. You want to give us a thumbs up? Good. So you can make the channel continue growing and they can open the doors, little by little and let everybody see us, I mean, I'm just telling you what it is. We've been chosen, allegedly. Everything that I say in this channel is allegedly, let me salute him. I'm going to salute him, salute him. Allegedly, we have been chosen by no other than as the best watch market update show by no other than Fudenki. And now behind them is also a bigger one, a bigger company that they're saying that we are unbelievable, that the writer of the show, he's unbelievable. And the writer of the show is no other than Sweet Kid Kino. He's here today. Sweet Kid Kino is the writer of this show, the producer, the writer, the executive, director. He's everything in this channel, And we want to just say something as well, too, ladies and gentlemen. Last month, we were able to receive and thank you chats. We don't use the word here super chats. We use thank you chats and all that good stuff. We were able to do an unbelievable month. We did it in thank you chats, $74.36. And we gave it all away to our cameraman, light man, Thunder Lightning Antenna Man. We gave it all away to them, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank all of you. On behalf of me and Sweet Kid Kino, thank you very much for all those thank you chats. They're happy. They were able to buy some Corona, Super Corona beer and all that good stuff, So estamos bien. ¿Tú entiendes, papá? And we're not saying that because we want you to give us a super chat. I'm just telling you, we're reading, what we get every month. And that's what we made, That's what we made. And we give it to the boys as a bonus so they can buy whatever they wanted, Bought a couple of bottles of MD 2020, Asti Spumante, all that kind of stuff from the 80s, Malt liquor, the bull, unbelievable. Again, thank you very much. And again, I want to thank this gentleman by the name of Pete for sending us that beautiful thank you chat as well. Thank you very much, guys. Anyway, guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about couple of things that I want you guys, to hear about. Because it's important for you guys to know what's happening out there. It's important. The first thing I'm going to tell you is that we had a big show here in Miami, Florida. It's too tight on me. I can't put it on. I like to plug it up, but I can't. It's too tight. Don't joke me. We had a real big show here, and this big show wanted to compete against no other than the Miami Beach Antique Show, which is the biggest. It's been coming here to Miami for the last, 60 years, But these Michiganders over there from the My Pillow Warehouse in Pennsylvania Avenue, the guy with the boxing black eyes, I called Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, with the Tweety Bird haircut. Ladies and gentlemen, it was an embarrassment, ladies and gentlemen. It was an embarrassment. We had so many things happening here in Miami, Florida, in Miami Beach, all over Miami, that who was going to go to a show to try to compete against the Miami Antique, show, The Miami Antique Show is in March. They want to do it now, to see what they can do. Son unos morones, son unos morones. You know what moron is? Morons, son unos morones, So you had that Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, he had his uncles, one has had like a bald head, they're like two brothers. I think one is one of the fathers of the Jiminy Cricket, with the Chia Pet spray can hair with the baseball cap hair, plugs in. I'm saying? They took there all these jewelries and rings and diamonds and necklaces and zirconians and all that good stuff over there, and it was dead. It was dead. You know what it is? For 4 days, it was dead, ladies and gentlemen. It was that they were giving free tickets to see if any of you Michiganers and crumb bums and sandbags would go to the show here in Miami, downtown Florida. It was dead. There were bodies floating all over the Miami River. You know, when you float in the Miami River, you are somebody, you know, because only criminals get to float all the way down. You know what I'm saying? They get to float down, you know, con las pacas. You know what pacas is? If you don't know what pacas is, you Google it. But ladies and gentlemen, 17 organic Watch Channel subscribers and only 8 thumbs up. Ustedes son unos caripelados, papá. Ustedes son unos caripelados. Kino, no te metas. No te metas, Kino. Yo le digo lo que yo quiero decirle a ellos. No te metas, Kino. Si son unos lambones. Son unos lambones, Kino. Y que 17, 18, son unos lambones. Son unos coño. A la vieja loca. Son las cabras enfermas, nargonas. Nargona con cicatriz. You know what nargona con cicatriz means? You Google it, because I'm not going to tell you. And neither is Sweet Kid Kino. We're on fire today, ladies and gentlemen. We're not playing around today. We're not playing around today. We're for real today, you know? We make it fun for you guys. But all fun is all for real as well, you know? I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to what I say. A dead clock is right twice a day. Remember that. A dead clock is right twice a day. No sean lambones. Ustedes son un bonche de lambones, descarados y nargonas como son. Nargonas con cicatriz. Unbelievable what I said. I'm only joking with you guys. Don't get offended with me, man. It's part of the show, you know? It's part of my character, you know? Sweet Kid Kino, he plays his character and I play my character. But ladies and gentlemen, again, the show was dead. You know, the show was dead. It was embarrassing. You know, you saw those guys walking around. It was unbelievable. I can't. Kino, Siga mandó $20. $20 mandó. Siga, thank you very much for that. Thank you, chat. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I can't put a thumbs up because the executive producer of the show, he didn't connect me to the, you know, to the desk, you know, I don't know, the desktop, you know, and I can't give you a thank you chat, but I thank you a heart, but I want to give it to you. Bing, 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 bing. And to the other gentleman too. Bing, 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 bing. Pete, Mr. Pete. Bing, 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 bing. All of you getting love from me and Sweet Kid Kino. This is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. You guys make me happy. You know, you make me like that. You really appreciate this show, and that's unbelievable. I like that. Mr. Wicked, here I am. I told you I was going to be here, Mr. Wicked. I told you I left you a message. You left me a message, and I wrote back to you that tonight I will be live. I'm very happy that you're here, Wicked. But ladies and gentlemen, enough of those people, you know, those people of the My Pillow warehouse. These guys have a My Pillow warehouse over there, you know, Pennsylvania Avenue. Over there, not Pennsylvania Avenue, over there, you know, Pennsylvania, over there in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? They have a My Pillow warehouse. It's empty, no more salespeople there. They still have left the Puerto Rican Charlie Brown. They still have the mad scientists, you know, and they also have now there Bob Marley, you know, or Ziggy Marley. He's there now there too. You know, just to let you know what's going on with them. The watch market is dead, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you this because you guys need to know this. Again, get it through your head. A dead clock is right twice a day. No sean lambones, papi. No sean lambones. Papi, esto es lo que hay. Este es el show número 1. This is what I say in Spanish. I said this is the #1 watch market update show. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm on fire today. Bank of America, where a lot of you have, you know, your accounts, you know, you do business with Bank of America. Well, they got a master guy that works over there in Bank of America, and he works with precious metals, ladies and gentlemen. And this is no kidding aside. This is all, you know, this is for real now. You know, the guy from Bank of America, he's a genius dealing with precious metal. And this guy from Bank of America, I mean, you're not going to believe this. This guy, he's unbelievable. He's very, very powerful. He said, ladies and gentlemen, and I quote, he said that silver, the troy ounce of silver. Esto es un parapelo, papi. Esto es un parapelo. Vete para Costco. You go to Costco. You run to Costco right now. You run to Costco right now. I gotta increase the production. You know, I got to. You're right about that. You gotta go to Costco and you gotta get your hands on. Listen to this. I'm not a person to tell people what they should do because I'm not a financial manager, a financial advisor. Excuse me. Yo soy un lambón. Yo soy un come mierda. Yo soy un cativilla. ¿Tú entiendes? Yo soy un morón. You know what morón is? Morón is a moron. You know, I'm a moron. You know. But I sometimes know a little bit. It's going all the way up. All the way up. You know, all the way up. They're not like us. All the way up. It's going all the way up, ladies and gentlemen. And that is silver, ladies and gentlemen. And that guy from Bank of America, un tipo bravo, papi, un tipo bravo, con zapato Testoni. You know, he wears Testoni shoes, Brioni suits. Unbelievable. You know what it is to wear Testoni shoes and a Brioni suit? Papi, tiene que ser la tranca. That guy is saying, by the year 2026, and this month already is almost ending pretty soon. It's almost ending already. I'm just letting you know what's going on. Maybe you guys don't want to believe me, but it's going towards the end of this month already. And he's saying, ladies and gentlemen, that the troy ounce of silver in the year 2026, the year 2026, is going to hit $325 a troy ounce. I repeat, $325 a troy ounce. That's unbelievable. That is unheard of. And esto es un magnate. This guy is probably making, $5-6 million a year. You know, you tell us what's happening and we do what you say because you're the master behind precious metal. Tipo una jodienda, papi. The guy is saying that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you what's going on, papi. I'm telling you what's happening, papa. Don't get mad at me. Don't hate the player. Hate the game, bro. You know, don't hate the game, hate the player, whatever you want to call it, papi. Tú sabes lo que hay ya. Esto es lo que hay, papá. La situación está caótica. There it is. There it is. You got Pete right there. Pete, the watch collector, is telling you in your face. $325 an ounce, papi. $325, papá. $325. And ladies and gentlemen, because I'm stupid like that, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not going to tell you what silver went up today, too. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what silver, papa. Dr. Evil, let me tell you something. You know, I don't know if you are really a true believer of silver, but Sweet Kid Kino and we are. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, silver is going to go all the way to the Mars. All the way to Mars. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that right now the strongest asset right now, stronger than the $1 bill? Good for you, Papa. Good for you, Dr. E. Good for you, Papa. The strongest asset, stronger than the dollar bill, is gold, Papi. Gold. Pure gold. That too. Pure gold, ladies and gentlemen. But these 5 precious metals that I'm going to talk to you guys about is unbelievable. You know, the first one, ladies and gentlemen, is rhodium. You know, rhodium is what they put on these rings, you know, these Cartier watch rings, you know. Saludos, greetings to you, 30 West. Saludos, papá. Saludos, un poquito de jungle juice. I'm going to get a little bit of jungle juice because I'm getting nervous, you know. Quiero, dame la pastilla del corazón. La del corazón. Dame la del corazón. La del corazón. Esa está mala. Gracias. My heart pill for my heart. Unbelievable, this show. Unbelievable. Saludos, Doc Maker, Florida. Saludos to you, too. Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, rhodium, the troy ounce of rhodium, you know, this is the metal that these rats, you know, these rats crawl through the floor. They crawl through the floor in apartment buildings, and they go under the car to get the catalytic converter. I don't know how to say the Cadillac converter. You know, the Cadillac converter, they take it out with screws. They get it out, and they get a little thing like that of rhodium, you know, and they sell it for big money. And ladies and I'm telling you like it is, Alex. I'm telling you, they go under. These people are rats. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to crawl with the rats or you want to soar with the eagles? Unbelievable, but true. Unbelievable. You don't want to crawl with the rats. You want to soar with the eagles. And these rats go on the floor, you know, like they're in Vietnam. Like they're in Vietnam, you know? Como si están en Vietnam. You know, my cousin Victor Martinez, you know, he was in Platoon 46. He was up there in Smoky Mountain, you know? And he went up there and he really, really gave the service of his life over there. And he would crawl on the floor, you know? You know? And these guys, estas ratas de cuatro patas, porque son ratas, they go through the floor and they go to your car and they get the Cadillac converter out. And they sell it because it's big money there. And right now the troy ounce is $9,900 a troy ounce. I'm telling you what, son una rata, papi. Son una rata. That's rhodium, ladies and gentlemen. Palladium. Palladium is another metal that's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Palladium is unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because you guys are my friends. The troy ounce of palladium, ladies and gentlemen, let me see this real well. Man, this is unbelievable. It's at $1,970 a troy ounce. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you what it is. Ustedes no pueden seguir de morones. You cannot continue being mesmerized by the MK Ultra. You know? MK Ultra. You know, you can't. You got to get out of there. You got to save yourself. Save your children's tuition money. Save your wife's 401k. Save your 401k. Save your children's tuition money for, you know, Yale University, Cornell, Brown, Princeton, you know, Berkeley. You know what I'm trying to say? UCLA, save your money. No sean unos huevones, papi. No sean pendejos, brother. No sean pendejos. La situación está jodida. There's no more money. There's no more chavo. No more cuarto, lana, chelo. No hay pasta, papi. No hay lira. You know, Italia, lira, no sé qué. Euros. No hay más dinero, papi. There's no more SBA loans. There's no more, you know, PPP loans. No more free government money. No more, you know, stimulus checks. Unemployment checks. Papi, la situación está jodida. Hay que pinchar, hay que trabajar, hay que quemar. You gotta work. No sean pendejos. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this, but platinum is at $2,200. I said it wrong. $2,367. $23.67 a troy ounce of platinum, papi. Platinum. You want platinum? Eso es lo que vale eso, papi. Platinum. No sean lambones, papi. Te lo pido por Dios. Por el amor de Dios. Pórtense bien. No sean pendejos. You know what I said? You know what I said? I'm not going to tell you. You Google it. No te metas aquí, ¿no? No te metas aquí, no. No te metas que el trago está bueno. Está bueno el trago. Look at my grandchildren gave me this stuff, you know. They told me that I need loading for energy. You know, I'm unbelievable, those grandchildren of mine. You know, they're little rats. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. ¿De qué año es ese? Está buenísimo. Wicked, thank you so much for that. Thank you, chat, Wicked, from the bottom of my heart. Muchas gracias, Wicked. Coño, eres grande, papá. Thank you, Mr. Wicked. Today I don't have the push button to give you a heart and a like, but look at it. Ding, 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 ding. Peace, my brother. Thank you so much, papá. Wicked, muchacho, que tiene como una gorra de la bruja. La bruja. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go to silver. I'm going to go to silver because I really wanted to leave silver for last, but today we had a record breaker, you know, record breaker day, you know, in gold. And also in silver too, to be honest. So since the one, you know, one is a little lower than the other one, I'm going to go with silver. All right, guys? But ladies and gentlemen, that guy from the, you know, from Bank of America, he's onto something. The troy ounce price of silver is at $85.03 a troy ounce. Papi, when I started telling you people about silver, this is no bullshit. I'm coming out of character now. I'm going to go back to character. I was telling you guys when silver was at $14 a troy ounce. $14 is at 85.03. That is scary, bro. I mean, I believe that people that are thinking and fantasizing that one day they wanted to be millionaires. Well, I know someone that he always told me that he collected pennies, and I will always look at him because, you know, I don't know, pennies, you know, and today that person has a bunch of penny, and pennies have been discontinued, and he's loaded up with penny. We don't know what's going to happen with penny, right? But he also had another fetish, if you want to say it that way. It was silver, and this mother frogger has so much silver that is crazy, you know, because we sit down and we start talking about him when he's present, or when he's not present. We talk about him because, you know, he was just, I don't know, he just has, you know, hundreds of pounds of silver. And I see that $85 a troy ounce, and I hear somebody saying that it's going to go to $325 in the year 2026, and it's scary. There's only 12 months in a year, guys. It's not like it's 12 years, it's 12 months, you know? And they're saying 325. Let that sink in your head. 325. Then this boy has a lot of silver, you know? He's a little older than me. He's a little older than me, but he's like he says, I'm gonna be a millionaire one day, and he is, because if that thing goes to right now the way it is, he's very close to that, to be honest. But you know, if it goes to 325, that's it. Ding 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 ding. He made it. So just to let you know about silver, you know. He knows something with those pennies. You're right. He knows something. This guy's onto something, you know. But that's silver. And ladies and gentlemen, the record-breaking day that we had today is crazy, because I started telling you guys about gold, and people, man, were mad at Keno. Who do you think you are? You know, who made you the queen bee of financial advisor and all that good stuff? People were mad. You know, they were just mad at us. You know, they were steaming. You know, they were mad at us. Yeah, using dollars for toilets. Correct, bro. I mean, anybody that's into metals, man. And I started telling you guys, man, this is no bullshit. Again, I started telling you people about gold. I said, when the watch market went belly up, I told you guys, listen, you know, I mean, don't buy nothing. You know, if you want to buy something, if you're going to buy something, buy gold, because everything else is dead. That's what I would say. If you're going to buy something, you know, buy gold, because everything else is dead, right? Everything is dead. I think 500 by 2027. Wow, man. Those are big numbers. I'm telling you, man. Those are big numbers, man. Those are big. You remember, wow, Dr. Evil. You really do remember Dr. Evil, for real? You really do remember this, because I want people to hear what you're saying. Remember, I was saying that buy junk gold watches, and people were throwing tomatoes at me and eggs, you know, and all that good stuff, you know, because I was telling you guys, you know, to buy gold, because everything else is dead. I would tell you guys. And the watch dealers and backpackers, they were all mad at me. You know, you remember that? Wow, man, tremendo. Wow, Thurston too. Wow, incredible. I'm really flattered, to be honest, because I'm coming out of character to tell you guys I am really flattered that you guys remember that. And people were mad at me, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, I must have told you guys, you remember too, wow, when it was at $1,600 a troy ounce. And people would look at me like I'm crazy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, $1,600 a troy ounce, and today is at $4,625. $4,625, and it's going all the way up. All the way up. They're not like us. All the way up. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. I get goosebumps, man. $4,625 a troy ounce. I started telling people on this channel 3 years ago, or maybe even more than 3 years ago, everything is dead. But if you want to buy something, buy gold. Buy junk watches, crush watches, and people were just mad at me. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, not too long, look at that, 24, you remember, not too long ago. Papi, I'm telling you, man, listen, I mean, if I've given you something from from my heart, you know, for free, it's been that, you know, for free. It's been for free. And people told me, so what do you get from that? I get pleasure. I get pleasure. You know, Paco Gambino told me, listen, don't leave this world without telling people what you know, as long as it's not something, you know, that's going to jeopardize you and with the law. You know, he would tell me that always. Paco Gambino is a shrewd man, you know, 5 feet 4 inches, full of fear. You know, I mean, you look at him y tú te cagabas en las panty, papi. Te cagabas en las panty. Mr. Thurston Howell, muchas gracias por ese coño, for that thank you chat. Coño, Thurston Howell, coño, le dio un super chat. Un bendición, papá, bendiciones para ti. Muchas bendiciones, salud. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, you know? But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you again that, you know, you got to be smart with your money, you know? Don't give it away. I mean, you know, if you want to give something away, think about it, analyze it. Is it worth doing it or is it not worth doing it? You know, I'm telling you that. I gave you the prices of the precious metals. And again, I want you to just, you know, be all right. I want to just say something changing the conversation. I did an unbelievable watch show. At least I believe that I did a great watch show on Friday. It was very brief. It was like a 30-minute show that I did. But it was unbelievable. And I was talking about two, just in case many of you forgot about it or many of you were not here. It was a subscriber that sent me an email describing blah, 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 blah. And he was talking about two watches. I'm going to do this real quick. He was talking about two Rolex date presidents, you know? One was in white gold and the other one was in platinum, you know, and he was asking me, you know, what should he get? Saludos, Alex, if he should get the white gold or the platinum. I'm going to tell all of you, you know, quickly, all of you, I'm going to tell all of you in a real nice way. If you are thinking of buying a Rolex date and white gold or platinum, I'm going to tell you right now, so you understand this. If you're buying the platinum, you're going to get a medal worth $1,500 on that 40 millimeter white gold president, right? You understand that? Good. Okay. $1,500. And you're going to get as a value customer, you're going to get the brand, the marketing in the Rolex name. You're going to pay like $53,000. Okay, 15 for platinum, pure platinum is pure platinum, and 53 of marketing, branding, and all that good stuff, right? This is what I told them, man. I'm jumping this real quick. Both watches have the same guts. You heard me? Both watches. Listen and learn. So you can, when you talk to people and you use these words, they know what you're talking about. Hey, that guy used the word guts. They have the same guts, same movement. Same hand stack, you know, same crystal. You follow me? Same dial. It has the same guts. The only difference is one is platinum and one is gold. The gold one will give you a medal. The gold one will give you in metal. The gold one, the white gold one will give you $23,000. $23,000 is going to give you in metal, you know? The white gold costs $51,000. The white gold retail is $51,000. And the platinum is something like $68,000. I already gave you the explanation of the platinum. The white gold, you're going to get a medal, $23,000. And you're going to pay for, you know, for branding, marketing, and Rolex name. You're going to pay, I don't know, $27,000. So I'm telling all of you, if you are looking to buy a Rolex date, which is one of the most beautiful watches there is, no kidding aside, I think the Rolex President is one of the most beautiful watches there is, in particular, the bracelet. I mean, there's nothing like the way you look at that bracelet, and the mommies will throw you their panties lleno de mierda. You know, they will throw their panties full of shit to you, you know? when you have that watch on your wrist. You understand me? I know you don't want to hear this, but es como es, papi, es como es. You wear that watch on, papi, on your wrist, and you see that bracelet, you go, oh my God, what does that man have in his hand? You know? It's that beautiful one is kind of, you know, a honed finish, and then it has in the center links, it's polished, you know, and then the casing. Es una jodienda, papá. Es un baja panty. Ese reloj baja panty. The girls drop their panties to the floor. You know, they drop their panties whoop, to the floor. You go like that? Boom, panties to the floor. Like this. Whoop, whoop, panties to the floor. Una jodienda, papi. Finished with rhodium. Correct. You know? So if you're looking to buy a president day, you buy gold all day, every day. Buying platinum es palambones. Think about platinum this way. A platinum American Express card. A platinum, I don't know, record. Estoy loco. You know, you understand me? A platinum American Express card, a platinum record, a platinum loyalty, you know, for flying in the plane. It's just a name, papi. You're giving away $53,000 for a name. And right now, the one that's taking the back seat is platinum. And gold is going all the way up. All the way up. No, Kino, no te metas. Hold me back, Kino. Hold me back. Kino, hold me back. Hold me back. Para atrás. Echa para atrás. Más. All the way up. All the way up. All the way up. Kino, suéltame que me duele el brazo. Suéltame, Kino, suéltame. Coño, suéltame. No te metas en esto. I'm telling you what it is, so you know what's going on, okay? Between the platinum and gold, whether it's white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, you know, tricolor, you know what I'm saying? Tricolor. You buy gold. That's it. You buy gold. Okay? Is that clear? Anybody understand me or nobody didn't understand me? You guys understand me? That's right. I'm telling you, I already told you already. Because you guys are keeping me here and I'm trying to get away, but you guys are keeping me here. I already told you that gold at one moment, papi, and it's looking like that right now. No. No kidding aside. And it's looking like that right now. That somebody told me that. The gold is going to be for the super elite. Super elite. And the silver that nobody looked at it. And you look, let's be honest, guys. We all looked at silver like, que peste tiene ese silver, you know? It gets dirty, gets stained. You pass a cloth and it gets black, you know? You understand? You know, my silver comes from Tahiti, you know, the bullshit line. It comes from Tahiti. It comes from here, from the Maldives, for this. John Hardy, this guy, you know what I'm saying? How do we know? My wife has all those bracelets, and, you know, they're stainless steel and silver. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Nobody wanted that. Nobody wants that. But when you can't reach it no more, ladies and gentlemen, there was a moment here in our country that gold was at $250 a troy ounce. Gold was at $250 a troy ounce. Not too long ago. I'm telling you, you go back and you look, you're going to say, wow. You know, somewhere in the 80s. How's that? $250 a troy ounce. And they're talking about that silver is going to be at over $325 a troy ounce. So people are going to be wearing now those Cuban link chains in silver. Because it's gonna be worth something. It's gonna be worth something that you have in your neck, just in case you have an emergency that you need funds for food, for light bill, you know. But I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is, and you guys need to know all these things because nobody's gonna tell you these things, guys. Remember, a person that's trying to sell you something, he's never gonna tell you the tricks that Felix the Cat has in his bags. But I'm not Felix the Cat, and I don't have no bags. I can tell you all the tricks. I've been telling you for the longest, buy all the watches you can get your hands on, that they're gold. And I'll keep on telling you today. But I started telling you 2 years ago, 2.5 years, buy all the gold you can get. And you know the tricks are for kids. You know, ladies and gentlemen, let me clarify something. Everything that I'm saying here is allegedly. You know, let me salute him. Let me salute him. Ladies and gentlemen, all of us, if you are live in this channel right now, please, let's all put an owl, a little owl, and let's salute him. The Bohemian Grove. You know about the Bohemian Grove? You guys probably don't even believe about the Bohemian Grove. You guys are just skip hopping around through life thinking that, there you go. There you go. Salute the owl. Salute the owl, papi. Salute the owl so you can let them know that you know what's up. They see you. They see you. You know? They see you. They know what's up. You salute the owl. You know that? You salute the owl. Right now, in July of this year, they're going to get together over there. You know, over there in Bohemian Grove. And they're going to decide. They're going to be deciding because, you know, we still have a while to go. Who's going to be the next president of the United States? Just to let you know. Just to let you know. But guys, you have that already. I'm telling you already. Buy gold. Forget about platinum. These people are telling you about platinum, and I'm going to tell you this. Because you need to know this. These people, all of them are getting greased up with a big discount on platinum watches. You know? They're getting a big discount. Wherever their contact is, in the United States or out of the United States or Europe, they're getting a big discount. I already told you a platinum simple date, plain Jane, $68,500. Disgusting. $68,500. Something out of this world. You know, I already told you that. I'm telling you what it is. Don't get involved in that. They're getting a discount on those platinum watches. I'm telling you, easy, 30%. So then when they get those watches, they can give you this deep. They can give it to you deep because ustedes son unos lambones. Ustedes son unos lambones. If you look at it real well, you're going to say to yourself, coño, it is a better investment buying a white gold Prezi than buying a platinum Prezi. But these motherfroggers were never going to tell you. But I will. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to know something. If you guys think that I have not made any noise out there with this little channel, you guys are wrong. I have awakened many people. I have disrupted. I have rattled. I have dismantled the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market channels. Me and Sweet Kikino. In particular, Sweet Kikino, because he's the brains. He's the brains of this channel, and I'm the voice. You understand that? You understand that? You understand me? And then you have many, cheap knockoffs, imposters trying to be just like us. You know, tricking you guys into, buying watches that are worthless. Worthless. You're buying basically what I told you, a brand, a marketing, a branding, whatever you want to call it, a logo, whatever it is, that's what you're buying. You know what it is to pay $53,000 for a name of Rolex? Hay que ser cucaracha, papi. Hay que ser salbandija. Hay que ser macabélico. You know what macabélico is? Hay que ser macabélico, papacho. Hay que ser macabélico. Enough of this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going crazy today. This is crazy what I'm doing today. It's crazy. Let me get a little bit of water here to tell you something else, right? Exactly. Nobody, papi, nobody. But they're giving you the illusion. You see, they would always say, listen, you might tell 100 people and they're going to believe what you're saying, but there's always a dodo bird in the corner, skip hopping around through life like a bunny rabbit, kicking tires, a cow tipper, a possum kicker. Papi, tú sabes, eso es así. You know what I'm trying to say. I want to go into something else, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Pennsylvania Avenue, I don't care what color you like in politics, blue or red or blue, to me it's the same shit with different smell. Para mí es la misma mierda con diferente peste, you know? Is what it is, for me. But that guy from Pennsylvania, I'm telling you, Pennsylvania Avenue, you know, he's telling right now, Pennsylvania Avenue, so you understand why I keep on telling you that the watch market is broken and, you know, it's dead and, you know, it's intensive care and it's in a backyard, septic tank and smelly. I'm going to tell you, Pennsylvania Avenue has told China, Russia, and Iran, I get the name, brother, you know, when you got to say something, these people, they all belong to the same team. Red or blue, they belong to the same team. No sean pendejo. They eat in the same round table, but, you know, every 4 years, one comes in, one goes out. Red, blue. In this case, this guy is red, right? Supposedly he's red. And he's studying the people from Russia, from China, and from Iran. If you want to buy Venezuelan, you know, crude gold oil, you got to buy it from the U.S. You know what that is? That guy is telling those people superpowers. You know, he's telling the superpowers. You know what? Superpowers, man. Superpowers. He's telling the papi, if you think about it, you go, coño, está cabrón eso. That's like, wow. You know? There you go. Listen to Grande. What I told you about gold. Listen to Grande. I'm telling you. Papi, when I talk, I got too much mush. Sometimes I got too much mush in my head because Kino gives me a lot of tension at work. You know, it gives me tension. And I tried telling him, listen, I want to go to the bathroom and you need to go out there. I want to be in the bathroom for 4 hours locked. You know, but he gives me tension. But I'm telling you, I knew the goal was somewhere, you know, in the 70s, 80s, $250 a troy ounce. But anyway, let's go back to this guy. That guy is saying that already. He told them already, if you want to buy, you know, Venezuelan crude oil, you got to buy it from the United States of America. O me, Pennsylvania Avenue. La situación está jodida, muchachos. No sean pendejos. La cosa está mala. I'm telling you, you need to salute the moose. I'm telling you, this guy is out of his mind. You know, this guy is out of his mind. And then he has a pet. You know, Pennsylvania Avenue has a pet. A lot pet. And his name is Marquito Rubio. And Marquito Rubio, if you guys don't believe me or not, you look into it. Para que mire las encuestas. You know, las encuestas mean so you can see. I don't know how to say that in English. Tú tampoco sabes decirlo, you know, ¿verdad? Las encuestas. So you can see. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what they're saying? They're saying that guy, Marquito Rubio, he has doubled up now on becoming the next and the first. I'm buying some jungle juice, guys, some jungle juice. Just like that. Absolutely, Mick. They're saying that Marquito Rubio. Look at that. Everybody's looking. You see, I put these people to work. You see that? 380 in the 80s, you know, that's what gold was. Like I'm telling you, every time I try to leave, they push me back in, you know? But guys, they're saying that Marquitos has doubled up on becoming the first Latin president of the United States. Just want to let you know about that, you know? Because you guys need to know about these kind of things. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that a dead clock is right twice a day, okay? Remember that, a dead clock. You don't remember when your grandmother had that, you know, that cat, there was a clock, and his tail would go like that? Remember that? A cat, you know, had him in the, you know, the wall, and then every once in a while, the cat will give up and stop. Well, that cat, the clock cat, was going to be right twice a day only. Okay? You remember those clocks, right? Mr. Donut, you remember those. Anyway, guys, I'm happy that you guys are learning something. I also said something to you on Friday. If you haven't caught that video, you must watch it. It was about people that have given their life to the Rolex factory, being ADs, and suddenly they're being shut down all over Las Americas and in Europe. You know, they're being shut down because I also told you this. I swear to God, I told you this also. I've given you guys so much knowledge that if you think you must have thought that I was like, this guy that's talking there has to be crazy. You know, he's talking about gold, silver, and I was telling you about Rolex 2 years ago. 2 years ago, before Rolex bought Bucarel, thank you, Papa. Thank you so much, Papi. That means a lot to me. Gracias, Juan. Gracias, Papa. Thank you very much. And I get, you know what I say, wow, I told these people 2.5 years ago, before Rolex purchased Bucarel, I told you what the plan was. You're crazy. Man, you could have seen the people were so mad. They were so livid, you know? They were just so salty and bitter that somebody came in and started awakening the masses. You see, maybe I will never get credit for none of this, and I probably never will. But the one that has the blueprints to all this, that made the blueprints, was Sweet Kid Kino. You know, he had the blueprints. He said, let it go, let it go. And now people are going to start saying, yes, it's that way. Rolex wants to be a boutique like Hermes, wants to be a boutique like Chanel, wants to be a boutique like Vacheron, like, you understand me? Like a Richard Mille. I told all of you, but you guys were, you know, no lo podían, you guys couldn't comprehend. But Rolex is already saying it already. We want you all out. We don't want no more catalog. You know what catalog is? It's a big fat book, and it has screws, dials, bracelets, stretch bracelets from Rolex, all these kind of things, you know? Yeah, they sold from a catalog, and they've been doing it for 60 plus years. They have all been let go. But I told all of you, I only had one person from Rolex that sent me an email congratulating me, and it was anonymous. It was incognito. Is it called incognito? Telling me that what I said was unbelievable the way I said it, you know? And I said, I'm sorry if I didn't say it the best way in the world. I know it's not the best pressed iron way. Mine's is a little bit, you know, wrinkled, but you know what I'm saying? I told you guys. Guys, I'm going to go into a watch market update because I haven't given you guys a watch market in a couple of days, and I'm going to give it to you guys, and you guys deserve it, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. But there you go. There you go. There you go. Thank you very much for telling me that. Wow. Yeah. Bobby, that's what it is. But I tried telling all of you that. Does anybody remember me telling you that? Does anybody? Can somebody just raise their hand and tell me? Me. I remember. I was one of them, and I didn't believe you. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, somebody tell me. Yes. And if you haven't, then you have to go look at that video I made. Because what I was throwing there was, you remember me. There you go. I told 100%. There you go, 100%. 2.5 years ago, before Rolex purchased Bucarel, I told everybody. And you know what they told me? That guy's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Mira, deep. Papi, they got to respect me. Somehow, they have to respect me, Papa. I give you knowledge for free. And our first watch, ladies and gentlemen, of the night on this watch market update is the AP Royal Oak Stainless Steel Open Work Skeleton. You remember, Mr. Donut. I know you do. The skeleton, the 15407 double balance wheel, ladies and gentlemen, 41 millimeter. This watch at one moment, and let's forget about the Corona era. Let's just talk about this era. It was all the way up at 179. 179. Stainless steel, acero, open work, double balance wheel, 41 millimeter, you know? Unbelievable. Skeleton eyes. Don't pay for that watch. No, Papa, it's still up there. It's still up there. It's still up there. Don't pay for that watch more than $133,000. And here it is. That's one. One for you. One. No sean pendejos. No regalen más el dinero. No lo regalen más. You know, I have saved, so many people out there. Euros, chavo, plata, lana, cuartos, You understand me? I have saved so much, and I want to continue saving you guys. You go to them, and you tell them this name. Listen, you do like him or you don't like him. I'm a fan of Opus and Time watches, of Sweet Kino, and the Crazy Latin Man. And what they tell me is what I do. And this is the price I want to pay for that AP Royal Oak 15407 stainless steel open work double balance wheel. You tell them that price and that's it, okay? Paren de ser pendejo. The watch show here in downtown Miami, we're dead. We're dead. Don't ask me how I know. That's none of your business. Don't ask me how I know. Aquí no es un delincuente, sabe todo. Our next watch, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about a watch that most of you need to hear this. I'm going to be talking about Aventi watches. Aventi watches. They call this the Ghost. 42 millimeter. It's unbelievable. Black case. It's a tourbillon, a tourbillon watch. A tourbillon watch. And, they were trying to compare this watch to a Hublot. They were trying to compare it to a Richard Mille, to a Jacob. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? Those watches, there, Jacob, Richard Mille, Hublot, that type of watch. But the watch has had his share of history. I'm not here to give you the rundown that gentleman over there, the English, Hermie the English, elf, I'm not into that. That's for him, The Hermie the English elf has his own thing. He talks to you guys about straps, about dials, about grill watches that he's buying. And then when he receives them, the watch doesn't match the paperwork, that wishy-washy stuff. This channel, we're not into that. We're not going to talk to you about straps and grail watches and getting on a train. No. We're not into that stuff. With that, we leave Hermie the English elf alone in that platform. He's a genius in that, people love that. Some people love that, and that's fine with that. That's fine. If you like it, you go over there. You go see Hermie the English elf, Hermie. But here what we give you is knowledge. Para que salga para la calle con el cuchillo en la boca. So you can go through the streets with a knife in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Kino, no te metas. Olvida, Hermie the English elf. El tipo loco ese. El maniático. He buys. Está loco. Está loco. Thank you, Wicked. Okay, Wicked. Thank you, Papa. No, but all kidding aside, if you like that, straps, buying a watch, buying a grill, opening a box, unboxing a box, and talking about the same thing, well, this is, again, the Aventi watches. And he's really done an attack with the Aventi watches, and he's done well. He's done really, really well, and he's unbelievable. He saved a lot of people a lot of money. A big shout out to Mr. Hermie, the English elf over there from the United Kingdom. The English guy over there, 42 millimeter, black case, skeleton eyes. It's all this wishy-washy with an orange strap. They're trying to be just like Richard Mille. Ladies and gentlemen, if I tell you this, you probably won't believe me. But, it's a very, very economic watch. And they were asking 35, 45. They were putting fantasy numbers, you know, spoofing numbers, spoofing. You know what spoofing is? If you don't know what spoofing is, you Google it. You Google it, and you'll find out what spoofing is. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell all of you something. If you are thinking of buying that watch, and I am not recommending any of you to buy this watch. They come to spoof. That's right, Papa. I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch more than $9,400. I'm not even going to give it a drop because you got to be un lambón to buy that watch. You know, it's a tourbillon, you know? You gotta be un lambón. You know, it's made in, they say that these watches, and I'm going to tell you, they say that these watches are made over there, Xinjiang. That's all I got to say. Xinjiang. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about, that's right. That's right. I'm going to talk to you about a watch that is an unbelievable watch. We never talk about Breitling in this channel, but I am going to start talking about all these different watches because it's good for you guys to know about this. This is the Breitling Chrono, you know, the Breitling Chrono Matte, the Evolution. Papi, this is the, you know, this is a watch. Okay, this is the watch I was trying to tell you people. Papi, buy it, man. Buy it, and you're going to be fine. Listen to this watch, what this monster watch is. This is, again, a Breitling Chrono Matte Evolution. Reference number K as in kite, 1335618 KYG. You know, it sounded funny that KY something, you know? KYG. 44 millimeter. Listen to this and learn, Pop. You know, San Pendejo. It takes a minute just to learn. It's an unbelievable time machine. I'm telling you, Papi, the president, when the president of Brazil started wearing the Breitling watch and leather strap with the white stitching, everybody went crazy here in the 90s. I went so crazy that my wife went to a downtown store that they had the line of Breitling, and she bought me one, you know? It was stainless steel, and it had the bezel with 18 karat gold. It was like a cognac leather strap. Unbelievable, that watch. Unbelievable. But this one, ladies and gentlemen, is 18 karat gold. The casing and the bracelet. Papi, when you hear this, you're going to go, oh my God. This thing weighs, this thing has 310 grams. 310 grams. If you take out the movement, if you take out the crystal, the dial, the hand stack, you know, if you take out all the guts, if you take out all the guts from the cow, thank you, Papi, thank you. She is, Papa, she really is. She was very, very nice to me this Christmas as well. Don't tell nobody I was nicer to her, always. You know how it is. And the watch has now, like, I don't know, I'm going to say 285, okay? I don't know, 285. I'm like that, 285. Let's say 280. 280 grams, Papi. That watch in gold, that watch has 20. ¿Cuánto tiene ese reloj? That watch has in gold $28,000. $28,000 it has in gold. Es 28, 27. You know, I'm lying to you. It doesn't have 20. It has $27,000. 27,000 at the moment. It had, at that moment, Thurston, you're right about that, but at that moment it had $27,000, right? $27,000. And there's always somebody looking from far away. Somebody, you know, calculating, you know, the whole thing. And the person went over there, he said, I'll take it from your hands for $28,000. And he took the watch for $28,000. And I'll tell you again, if you can get an Evolution Matte Chrono, you know, a Breitling like that, buy it all day long. 18 karat gold. He bought it for 28 beans. And he's smelling like a rose now. He's smelling like a rose, Papi. You know, these are the watches. If I tell you how much that watch would have cost 5 years ago, something so cheap. I mean, you would have more than doubled up on that watch. Yep. I'm just telling you what's going on, guys, okay? I'm letting you know, don't pay for that watch more. At this moment, don't pay for it more because gold is going all the way to the moon. Don't pay for that watch more than $29,000. It's just scrap gold. I'm sorry to tell you that about Breitling. I'm so sorry if I'm offending anybody that's a Breitling. I was a Breitling customer, so I can say this. Yes, it's a beautiful watch, but papi, that watch is worth more today than ever. And today is the day you can sell that watch. Today is the day you can sell that watch and make your money back. I'm just letting you know what's going on. I'm letting you know what's going on. I hope you learned something with that, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a beautiful watch. This is a Rolex Oyster Perpetual stainless steel with a pink dial for Valentine's Day. 36 millimeter, reference number 126000. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 36 millimeter. They call it the cotton candy too. Pinkish dial. Oyster, this is like a, I don't know, $5,600 retail price watch, but it went all the way up to, I don't know, 13, 15, 16, depending who the lollipop sucker was, But I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that 36 millimeter. He's dead. He's dead in water. He's dead. He's dead. Thank you. Thank you, Critical Experiment, for saying that number 10 beans. You're onto something. You're onto something. But I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm stupid like that, don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. It's your money, and you spend it as you please. But don't pay for that watch more. And I mean, don't pay for that watch more than $8,900 and dead. You do whatever you want. It's for Valentine's Day. You wanted it, sir. You got it. Sorry if I'm hurting your feelings, with your, with your, your dealer, your watch dealer. I'm sorry, Papi, You go with it with the cash. You throw on the table. You take out the cash. You put it on the table. You go with it. You say, hey, Bobby, this is what I got for you. This is what I got for you. Okay? I'm telling you what's going on. I'm telling you what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a Rolex GMT Sprite stainless steel with a Jubilee bracelet. Unbelievable watch. Unbelievable watch. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, please do not fall for the trick that's going to happen any moment. And you're asking yourself, what trick is going to happen any moment, Juan? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the trick is here. The cat is out of the hat. And now they're going to be coming out with what Rolex watches are going to get discontinued. Correct. Bravo, Thurston Howard III. Bravo, papá. Eres grande. Eres grande, papá. Muy bien, Thurston. They're going to come with the trick now to get you with the Rolex GMT Sprite, that they're going to discontinue. The left-handed, they're going to come in with the Pepsi GMT that they're going to discontinue. The Pepsi, because they can't do no more the ceramic bezel and, that lottie fantasy land, sketch, They're going to come with that. They're going to come and say they're going to now stop making so you understand me, the Patek Philippe. An example, don't get scared. The Patek Philippe white gold 5800 blue dial, the Nautilus, white gold. They're going to discontinue it. It's this. It equals this. It's going to get you. Ladies and gentlemen, for the ones that don't know this, please hear me out. A watch is going to be talked about while they're talking about the watch getting discontinued. That's how the watch goes up in price. They talk about it. The mumbo jumbo is going to get discontinued. That discontinues. They're going to come back again. The Coke, this, that. You know what I'm trying to say? The Dr. Pepper, this one, all that mushy stuff. But it's a sketch. While they're talking about the watch, it's al revés. It's the reverse. While they're talking about it, the watch is getting real high in price. Once the watch gets discontinued, it flatlines. It's dead. Has anybody ever told you that? Only me. Only me. I also have a video on that too. On chapter, I think it's chapter 8. Very early on my videos, chapter 8. The watch, while it's being talked about, the watch is hot. While they're talking, it's going to get discontinued. Once it discontinues, it dies out, papi. It just dies out. It's all a sketch. It's an illusion. It's an illusion, papi. And you guys buy into that illusion. But I must come to help you guys and help you. You know? It's called. You know what it is? They already know. It's called wash, rinse, and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. And they keep on doing this to you for free. And you come back to it because they even have a wig to dress you up so they can do it to you. Sorry, guys. That was a joke. Oh my God. So don't buy into the, discontinue. Don't fall for that, right? Thurston, thank you, Bobby, for laughing. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that Rolex GMT Sprite. Don't pay. Thank you very much. Don't pay for that Sprite Jubilee bracelet. Don't pay more. And I mean this, don't pay more than $15,200. That's what I got to tell you. Listen, guys, I wish I can give you the numbers you want, but if I do, I'm lying. I'm lying to you. I can't do that. I don't know how to practice too much the lying scene. Lying. I'm not good at it, So I have to give it to you the way I understand it and the way the mastermind of this channel, Sweet Kid Kino. Kino, in the holidays, he was out of control. He was drinking too much Macallan and Glenlivet, He estaba dañado, estaba loco. Pero he's back. He's getting back. He's a hard worker, but, two things drive him crazy. Women, they're gold diggers, and le gusta chupar mucho, le gusta tomar mucho. He likes to drink a lot, I tell him to slow down. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is an unbelievable watch. It's an unbelievable watch. It's the Rolex yellow gold, blue dial, blue ceramic bezel, Submariner, 40 millimeter. For some reason, I always come back to this sub, the 18 karat yellow gold with the blue dial, sunburst, blue dial, the ceramic blue bezel, let me tell you, it's a beautiful watch. That Submariner, I don't care what they tell you. This is the 40 millimeter, not the 41, 40. Discontinue. Reference number on this watch is the 116618. Beautiful. They call it, some people want to call it the Smurf. Some people want to call it this, whatever it is, It's a Submariner, yellow gold, blue dial, blue ceramic bezel, 40 millimeter, discontinue. The older version. And I'm going to tell all of you, if you're looking into that watch, don't pay. And listen to me. Right now, you're paying out of the price I'm going to tell you, man, you're paying a lot for the gold. I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch more. Does anybody know what I'm going to tell you not to pay for that watch? It's a Submariner, 40 millimeter, 2013, blue dial, blue ceramic bezel. Does anybody know? Don't Google it. Just throw it. I want to see what you got. I want to see where you guys are at. I want to know where you guys are at. Nobody, huh? Nobody dares? Nobody dares? Okay, 25. Thurston, thank you very much for showing some muscle there. Anybody else? 31. Stop right there. Stop right there. Who was that? Ha! Damon! Papi Damon! Don't pay. And I mean don't pay for that Submariner. 40 millimeter. Discontinue version. 116618. Don't pay more. Ding, 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 ding. Don't pay more than $31,000 and dumping, dumping. Kino, guárdame. Jala para atrás. Que fue Damon. Jala para atrás, que fue Damon. Sí, Damon de California. Dumping. Dumping. Suéltame, Kino, suelta el asiento. Suéltalo ya. That's it. I can't believe it. I'm telling you, Damon came in blazing. Pa, 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 ping, pa, like Val Kilmer, and Tombstone, You know what I'm saying? Unbelievable, that Damon. Unbelievable. Beautiful people, that Damon. I get so happy, Damon, when people say that ding, ding, ding number right in their head. There it is. Le dio en la cabeza aquí, lo desbarató. Lo desbarató. Lo desbarató, muchachos, lo desbarató. Yo sé lo que te estoy hablando. Yo sé lo que te estoy hablando. I'm telling you, Damon. Damon, you gotta quit hiding. You cannot hide any longer. This is your channel. This is your show. Show some respect. This is your channel. Bravo, Damon. Bravo. Felicidades, papá. Good for you. Le dio en la cabeza, papá. Deep. Sideways. Unbelievable, that Damon. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch. Yes, he is. He made an entrance. All right. He was watching. He said, I'm going to get him. Watch. He probably told his dog. He told his dog, Romeo, watch. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get Juan. Watch. I'm going to get him. It's a little better now. It is. You know, me dolía mucho. Getting better. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, when I give you guys a show, I even get injured. I got to put an ice pack and everything. Ladies and gentlemen, here's another one for you guys. You know, here's another one. It's a Rolex yellow gold. Rolex yellow gold. Stainless steel. You know, they call this watch, they call it the Sambi. You know, the Sambi, they call it the Sambi. Rolex two-tone GMT. You know, it's yellow gold with stainless steel with Jubilee bracelet. You know, 40 millimeter, you know, it's a two, you know, let me tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, with all the respect, you know, with all the respect. But I'm telling you, back in my time, two-tone watches, maybe today they're considered something, but in my time, you had a two-tone watch and it was like, you know, it was considered, you know, I'm not going to say it was a dog with fleas, but it was kind of a dog, you know, to be honest. I'm just saying that. It was kind of a dog, you know. Two-tone watches were kind of a dog. And ladies and gentlemen, they had the audacity to say that this watch was $35,000. You know? Saludos, Damon. Welcome to the show, Bobby. Welcome to the show. It was $35,000. You know? Absolutely. Absolutely. Dog with fleas. There you go. So there it is. Somebody said it for me. It's a dog with fleas. I'm saying it dog to be kind, but, you know, somebody said it's a dog with fleas, and that's it. He helped me out. And I'm going to tell all of you, ladies and gentlemen, his reference number is the 126713GRNR, the Sambi. I'm going to tell all of you, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, but don't you dare pay for that watch. I'm going to break the 18. I'm going to break the 18. Don't pay for that watch more than $17,800. And you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. It's your money. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, we're entering our last couple of watches. You were there, Papa. You were there too. You were there. Our last watches. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a watch that you have to have respect for it. You have to have, coño grande, you really hit it hard, okay? It's going to get there. It's going to get there. This is a watch just for, you know, this is an unbelievable watch. This is a Patek Philippe Grand Complications. Patek Philippe Grand Complication, Rose Gold, Perpetual Calendar, Corano, the 5270. This is, papi, you know, 41 millimeter. You know, it's fully rose gold, bracelet and casing. You know, it has a black stallion, you know, black stallion dial. Papi, es un baja panty, you know? It's a panty dropper watch. You know, you put that thing on, you know, you wear a white, you know, a nice white linen shirt, and you have it on with a pair of dungaree short jeans ripped, you know, and a pair of flip-flops, and you have that on your hand. Papi, las panty vuelan, cagá y apestosa, pero te la tiran. You know, you have that monster in your hand, the 5270. Unbelievable time machine, 41 millimeter. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. This watch has a retail price of $287,650. $287,650, papi. This is, papi, esto es una jodienda ese reloj, papi. Eso es, you know, you have the respect, you know, you have it there, you know, complicado, complications, gran complicaciones, papi, you know, un relojazo. But the watch market is dead. Watch market is dead. The watch market is dead. You're talking about a beast of a watch, man. A monster watch. Baja panty, lo que te guste. You know, whatever that you like. Whatever you like. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I gave you the retail price. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to tell you what I believe that you should pay for that watch. Does anybody know what I'm going to say that, you know, what not to pay for that watch? Anybody? This is somebody, you know, esto es intelectual. Esto ya para intelectual, you know? The wood box, the pusher, you know? The pusher, una caja así de grande, you know? 115, okay? Damon is daring himself. He's daring himself. I need one more. 60,000. Wow, this is unbelievable, these people. 60,000. I think Damon said 110, 60. One more? Anybody, one more? $95,000. Okay, we're going to stop right there. $28,000. $135,000. Coño. See, I knew somebody had to come out from the hiding. They're hiding away. You see, these are my Organic Watch Channel subscribers. They're sitting back, smoking a stogie, And he said, I didn't want to come out in the live today, but I'm going to have to because and he put there, his name is Christopher. His name is Christopher, and he put there $135,000. And ladies and gentlemen, when people say something that I like, I get happy. I told you that I get happy because there's people, que saben, they know about that big, paddock, wood box, shellac, pushers and all that good stuff, full set, everything. You have, this is an Enzo Ferrari, papi. Esto es un Enzo. Esto es un Enzo, un Barqueta. Esto es un Barqueta, un Maranello. Esto es una jodienda de reloj. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you the truth. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. But he said 135, and I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch. And I'm telling you, what it has in gold is what probably the white gold Prezi has. What it has in gold, $23,000, right? $23,000 is what it has in gold. And the rest, you're paying for branding, marketing, logo, and name. He said 135, and Juan Felipe Nieves and Sweet Kid Kino are going to tell you don't pay for that Grand Complications 5270 rose gold. Grand complications, don't pay more. This is for you, Christopher. Don't pay more than $138,000. And Dumping again. Dumping again. Se jodió el brazo este. Se jodió. Dumping again. I'm telling you what it is. All right? There it is for that one for you. And ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex two-tone. The root beer. The root beer. This is it. This is coming to the last. The last. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rolex two-tone rose gold stainless steel GMT root beer 40 millimeter reference number 126711CHNR with a retail price. Ladies and gentlemen, retail price of this watch is unbelievable. A two-tone. Coño, Thurston, te metiste en la pelea. Thurston. You're in the fight, Thurston. Congratulations, Christopher. Bien hecho. Te metiste en la... Oh, everybody's getting in the fight. Now. Everybody. Even Mr. Donut. Wow. Mr. Bushka también se metió también. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this. This root beer, in that Corona era, they were asking for that watch. Wicked, I need to talk to you. They were asking for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. $35,000 for a stainless steel and rose gold watch. Unbelievable. You know what it is? A stainless steel and rose gold, a two-tone. It's a dog. It's a dog. You know what I'm trying to say, Thurston. Help me out. With all due respect, I'm saying this. With all due respect, and I please, and I emphasize, please, I'm not. Again, I think it's a beautiful watch. I'm just saying that, it wasn't for me a two-tone watch. I felt like, it was, I can't get the whole stainless steel watch. I can't get the whole gold one. you know, tengo dos nalgas, and I'm in the middle, you know? You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt, me personally. But this watch was worth $35,000, Papa, and people were paying it left and right. And I'm going to tell you because you guys need to hear the truth and nothing but the truth. Somebody, people, all of you were on target on the numbers that you put down. All of you. And I'm going to tell all of you, don't pay for that Rolex GMT root beer. Wow, qué cosa más grande, mano. Retail price is $19,600. Don't pay for that watch. You ready? Don't pay for that watch. $16,700. You do whatever you want. Okay? You do whatever you want. And I was being very kind when I used the number $16,700. I was being really, really kind. I could have told you if I wanted. I don't want to say nothing no more. I'm going to be quiet. Our next watch, and this I believe is my last two watches are coming up. My last two watches. This is for a gentleman that sent me an email. He was looking for a Vacheron Constantin overseas, rose gold, blue dial, 4,500. 4,500, ladies and gentlemen. And people are still thinking that, this watch is $90,000, $80,000. And sir, I gotta tell you, for some reason, I'm a big fan of Vacheron Constantin. I think they're one of the best watchmakers out there, one of the best dial makers, is in particular the blue dial, which this watch has it, the blue dial. And I'm gonna tell you, sir, you do whatever you want. The retail price of that watch is $60,500. It's a discontinued watch. And I'm gonna tell you, because I'm stupid like that, don't pay for that watch more than $47,500, right, sir? That's that one. And here's my last one, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Rolex Daytona with an ivory dial. Daytona. It's a rose gold. Okay, wow, Christopher, okay. We're talking about a Rolex rose gold Daytona with an ivory dial. 40 millimeter, 116505 is the reference number. It's rose gold. Beautiful watch. And if they're telling you that the watch costs $45, $46, this is my price to you. You do whatever you want. Don't pay for that watch more than $38,700 and dropping. All right, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you enjoyed this watch market update. I truly, truly did my best today, to drop some knowledge on you guys so you guys can get smarter and smarter and smarter. As you know, we are a public service watch announcement channel. So we are, to bring you the real truth and what's happening out there. Stop being, mashuganers, all right? Stop being mashuganers. Be smart, all right? Do things carefully. Think about them. Don't. Right now, where you should be looking to put your money is in precious metals. All right, guys? On behalf of me and Sweet Kid Kino, we want to wish you guys a lovely evening as it is. And like me, thank you, Wicked. Thank you so much, Wicked, as well again. And like we always say, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hey, we also have a public channel, a watch channel. It's on Bookface. It's on Bookface. It's under my name, Juan Felipe Nieves. Look for it. Go to About. You'll find there Opus and Time. Request to join the channel. Maybe Kino and Samantha will let you in, all right? Samantha's my secretary. Maybe they'll let you in. They take a look at all that good stuff, If they see that you're for real, that you're not a fugazi, they might let you in. Anyway, like me and Sweet Kid Kino say always, take care and brush your hair. Good night, guys. Thank you so much. Peace. Thank you so much for the support and for all the thank you chats. Gracias. Un millón. Gracias.